Etude number 11 gives us the opportunity to work on several issues, the most important, in my opinion, being that of the string crossings. We have, from the very first two notes, a challenge of crossing from a C string to an A string and give the illusion of legato playing. And also, we have to do it cleanly. So what I did right now, I actually stopped the bow a little bit between the F and the A, very minutely, so hopefully it wasn't noticed. But if I do it slowly, you'll see how I play the first note, stop, cross very quickly, and then continue after I did not engage at all the G and the D strings. That happens many times throughout the etude. I'm going to play now the first two lines, and you'll see how I have to be very vigilant that I apply this particular technique whenever I have a string to cross or strings to cross. Another issue that we can work through in this etude is expressive intonation. That means slightly raising the sharps, slightly lowering the flats, making the half steps very small, leading tones very high. A good example of that is bar number 6, 7, and 8, which I'm going to practice slowly because I have to make sure I listen to all of these details, and I try to beautify my intonation by making these particular adjustments which I mentioned. The biggest challenge regarding string crossing in bar number 11, 12, 13, and 14 is that this kind of crossing we discussed earlier on happens now in succession many times. So we have to be incredibly alert here that we stop the bow every time we have to jump over one string and play as clean as possible. Detail that can help this cleanliness issue is that when I cross between the G and the A strings, I keep the fingers pressed so I don't run the risk of engaging a D open string when I do all of these string crossings. Another intonation related issue happens, as an example, in bar 25 and 26, where we have now chromaticism, which means that all the half steps that happen in a row have to be much bigger than the half steps we had before when we talked about the expressive intonation. So here's bar 25 and 26 slowly. Then later on, as an abrupt change of bowing indication, we have bars number 33 and 34, where suddenly Popper writes dots on top of each note so as to keep us alert and throw it as another challenge. So this is simply 2 bars of playing short notes on the strings, like a sort of a martelet. And the last point I want to make is that often in Popper etudes we see how we are given a pattern that goes slightly step by step backwards or slightly forward, and the hand slightly gets bigger and bigger or smaller and smaller, whatever the case may be. And what is important to learn from these kind of situations is that the hand needs to be disciplined, the hand frame has to be kept the same as we go through that pattern and not think note by note. A very good example of that, a very easy but a good example of this kind of discipline we have to instill in our left hand is in bar number 37 and 38.